Hello and welcome to March to the Pod presented by Eternal Roofing. We are back. Some of us have some new digs in the background, apparently. I don't know. Some live stuff has been happening for Mr. Sorrells the last couple of weeks. This is season 3, episode 27, basketball post-mortem. We're giving out grades for the head coaches this year and updates on all the other Bearcat athletic programs that have been playing and doing mostly well. I would say most of them have done pretty well recently. I am Cory Hogue, your host, producer, once banned catfans.com member, and now banned from Twitter X. You can find me everywhere else at Cory Hogue Sports, CoryHogue Sports. And again, just Twitter, the hell with you. And as always, I'm joined by the real ball knower of this podcast, the man behind Sports of SHSU on Twitter and Instagram, the guy with new background. I love it. I love that office look to it. COO of Cat Fun, proud Bearcat himself, Ben Sorrells. And do you know what tomorrow is?
Thursday.
Yes. Now, it's opening day of the Major League Baseball season.
Yes, that too.
It's also my wife's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. So the other night, got a little bit of trouble because I was like, well, Thursday's opening day. And my daughter's like, when am I coming up? Are we coming over? And I was like, for opening day? Got in trouble, man.
It's all right. It's worth it.
Sure. Yeah. For you and everyone else to laugh at. Hey, also, last week was the release of MLB The Show 26. And did you know they only released that on a PS5?
That's it? No Xbox?
Well, not on PlayStation, not PS4.
Oh, okay. I see.
So I went and got a PS5.
Had to.
Yeah, I haven't even played the baseball game. I've been playing Formula One.
That's funny.
But I do want to say before we get really going here, because we got a lot of great stuff to talk about. The college football 26 game. I got the EA Play whatever where you can get all kinds of games. That college football game, I didn't like it. I turned it off after it seemed hokey. It seemed 2014 to me. I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted something that looked more like Madden for the college, and I didn't get that.
See, I know a lot of people haven't been a big fan of Madden for a while.
That's what's funny is I prefer Madden because it looks more realistic a lot of times.
Yeah, I think it's more the animations, maybe not the looks. The looks, I'll give you that.
Yeah, well, and that's part of what got me off on college football 26. It seemed hokey, but anyway, you know what's not hokey? The bowling team, Ben. Breaking news right before we came on the air. The NCAA announced the regional bracket, the tournament for this year, and Sam Houston is in. They were sweating this one, but they are in. They are headed to Rochester, New York.
Yep.
They are in a regional with Vanderbilt and whoever wins the opening round match between Dominican and Alabama A&M, and also Maryville, Missouri, which I think plays D3 football.
I think I don't even know if they have a football team. I know they're D2. They're moving up to D1 for ice hockey next year.
But I know there's a Maryville team. It might be D2, but I believe I've seen it for D3.
I don't think they have a football team, so
it could be a whole nother Maryville school, man.
Yeah, I think they just have basketball as their big sport.
Makes sense. But Sam Houston getting in there. They didn't get the Arlington regional. Looking at these regional matchups, what is your initial thought on them being there with Maryville, Vanderbilt, and whoever wins between Dominican and Alabama A&M?
Yeah, you were an at-large and you were sweating it, like you said, one of the final teams into the tournament. I'm just glad you avoided Jack State. You've shown you're capable of winning against pretty much anybody but Jack State. Jack State is clearly the number one team in the country. So to be one of the last teams in and to avoid Jack State, I feel like is good, and you're in a pretty good spot. and we'll see where it goes. I mean, this is a team that made it to, I think, the 5th round of the Conference USA tournament, the SEC of bowling. So, yeah, I mean, I think they got as good a shot as anybody in the Rochester Regional. It's interesting that it's in Rochester because Vanderbilt, I mean, they might be predetermined regionals, but it's interesting that they would send, Alabama A&M, Sam Houston, Vanderbilt up to New York.
Yeah, they are predetermined. There's one in Arlington, one in Lansing, and one in Pittsburgh to go along with the one in Rochester. And like you said, they did. They made it to round 5 before they lost to Nebraska in the Conference USA tournament. Nebraska is in the Pittsburgh regional. Jack State is the number 1 overall seed in this. They're in the Lansing, Michigan regional, and they've got Youngstown State as well.
They're good too, yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. In the Arlington regional is the 4 seed La Tech, along with they got Wichita State and Newman, Newman's a D2 school for basketball, I know.
Is that Christian Newman?
No, Newman. The Newman, I think they're the Jets or the Rockets or something like that.
Okay, probably a different one because I know I was watching some D3 basketball, the Elite 8, and there was a Christopher Newman.
No, Newport. Christopher
Newport. That's right.
I believe it is.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, they're always good in D3 basketball too. Why I should know that, I shouldn't. Pittsburgh Regional has the number 3 seed. It's Arkansas State and they have Nebraska there. Duquesne playing at home. They don't have to travel. And then, of course, Rochester, New York, as we talked about. I think they played didn't they? I know they were in the Music City. Did they play Vandy in that? I can't remember.
I can't remember. They play so many matches, but I'm assuming they probably – and Vandy's a Conference USA team, if I remember correctly, so they've probably matched up with them at some point.
So they know they could play with them, and that it looks like that regional might be the toughest regional on the list here, but we've seen Sam Houston can hang with them, and as long as they get to the semifinals, and anything can happen at that point. This starts April the 3rd will be the regional with the double elimination. The opening round games will be April the 2nd. So they're coming right up right before Easter.
Yeah, one more week. Pretty much a week from today almost.
Wow. A lot going on with you. I mean, we see you upgraded the background there. Put me to shame, by the way. And a lot of going on across the athletics department, and we're going to get to it. But before we do, football had a new hire. It's an interesting one, and I don't hate it, Ben.
Yeah, so new offensive line coach, Jack Bicknell. He's actually been on campus from what I've told since about February, but it's now official from what I've been told.
Human resources.
Yeah, and it's a whole process. But yeah, spring ball started this week. Went official. Jack Bicknell, the new O-line coach, was recently at West Virginia with Rich Rod. Was let go there. Not too sure why. He was only there for a year. So I thought that was interesting. Don't know all the behind the scenes, but he did work with Phil Longo at both UNC and Wisconsin. So he steps in and knows the system immediately, which I think is a good thing. And it's an O-line group that I'm pretty high on going into this year. So I'm intrigued to see what he can do.
I'm just excited to see a new coach that might be pretty good, because last year that O-line was horrendous.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of that fell on AJ Hop, who I don't know where he's going. I think he's taking another job from what it sounds like. But yeah, an O-line that was not up to par. And obviously you have higher hopes this year. And so we'll see what he does. I think if they can put together an O-line that's competent, I think you've got the pieces around him. I think they like their quarterback in Landon Locke and like what you have at running back, and you brought in some good receivers. So the big question mark was the O-line this offseason, especially after losing everybody from that O-line. And so we'll see what they can do this year. I think the success of the offense hinges on that offensive line, and it typically does, but I think more so than ever this year.
I think when we get to summertime and we start really just talking football because we don't have anything else to talk about, you're going to find that I have a lot of concerns about the entire team after just 2 wins.
I think they did a great job in the portal. I'll give them that, but you don't win games by just bringing guys in. The pieces got to fit together and they got to gel. And there's obviously some concerns too, and rightfully so after a 2-10 year, but I think there's reason to be more hopeful. Is that now a 4-win year, or is that a 7-win year? Is that a 9-win year? I'm not too sure, but I think it should be a better year than last year. Keyword should. Not saying it will, but it should.
The standard every year should be a bowl game for this program.
Yep.
And that's how I'm going to hold it to. And last year they fell way short of that. But enough about all that stuff. Let's get to some positive news. We're going to talk some golf, tennis, women's track is going, beach volleyball is playing. We'll get to all that after we hear a word from our friends over at Eternal Roofing.
Eternal Roofing and General Contracting is your choice for integrity work in the Texas Hill Country. Taylor Andrus and crew provide experienced quality roofing services with a mission of roofing with faith, serving with integrity, and sheltering homes in the spirit of stewardship. Don't just take our word for it. Here's what satisfied customer Pamela Allen had to say about Eternal Roofing. They did a great job on our patio roof, came out quick for a quote. The quote was very reasonable, and they started and finished work well and quickly. Not a bad thing to say about Eternal Roofing. Give Eternal Roofing a call today at area code 830-251-5673 or area code 936-215-8539, or you can email them taylor@eternalroofingtx.com.
As always, we appreciate our friends over at Eternal Roofing. And let's get into some golf talk. The men's golf team in their last tournament, they were in Houston, in Humble, Texas. Actually, it was hosted by Houston, by the University of Houston. The All-American Intercollegiate Tournament finished 12th out of 16 teams. And this weekend, they're playing in the Maridoe Invitational. That's hosted by, or next week, I believe, starts Monday, hosted by North Texas in Carrollton at the Maridoe Golf Course. It's what can we read? But it kind of goes the same for the women too, right? Like, what can we read about these tournaments? They're all finishing 10th, 11th, 12th out of 16, but these are some power teams a lot of times they're playing against. Ben?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, you were breaking up there for a second. Yeah, talking about golf, we knew it would be a rebuilding year for the most part. And we've seen that two extremely, extremely young teams. It's a rebuilding year. I mean, golf won the championship last year in Conference USA. Women won it 2 years ago, and they're still trying to get back to where they were. Alex Malonga has kind of been your star on the men's side, but yeah, it's been a tough go of it so far, and it was kind of to be expected. And I think this year is you kind of just figure out what you have and build off it going forward.
Can you read a lot, though, by them being in these tournaments against all these big power teams?
Not really. And I don't know if it was this tournament or the one 2 weeks ago. There were a couple other Conference USA teams, and I think you were in second out of 3 that were in there. That was the one. Yeah, it was the one 2 weeks ago. So I feel like they're a middle of the pack Conference USA team right now, which isn't where you want to be. Like I said, it's still a rebuilding year. You just got to continue to grow these young guys. You have a lot of freshmen that are playing a lot for you. And your one returner in Alex Malonga has been really good. I think he's had 2 top 10s the last 2 weeks. And so just got to build around him, continue to move forward, and have these young guys grow.
The women's team finished 11th out of 16 at the Betsy Rawls Invitational, hosted by Texas at their university golf course, because it's Texas. They have one. Who? They are headed to Tallahassee on Friday and Saturday. They're playing in the Florida State matchup at the Seminole Legacy Golf Course.
Sounds expensive.
It really does. Again, they're playing these, Texas won it, and I know there's a lot of good golf teams that they're facing. More importantly, it's hard in collegiate golf because you just kind of got to focus on yourself every round is really all you can do at these things.
Yeah, and that's a program going through even more transition. They just had a coaching change mid-season. So just so much change, and you just got to keep competing. It's such a young team, and I think by the time Conference USA play comes around, which I think is about first week of May, typically, hopefully this team's in a little bit of a better spot, but I think both of them are probably middle of the pack within the league this year.
Got better news here. Women's tennis. They're
Yeah.
7-11 overall, but they're 2-1 in Conference USA now. They
Yeah.
opened conference play with a 5-2 win at Western Kentucky.
Right now, we don't know a lot about Western Kentucky.
But we know they lost 5-2. And then they went on the road to Middle Tennessee, and they beat the Blue Raiders. Why you chose blue, I don't know, but you are. 5-2 on that one. They did lose 6-1 at home versus La Tech, but they're done with road trips. They're hosting Missouri State on Saturday. They've got a couple of more in the following week, and then they're into the Conference USA tournament. To me, it sounds like this program is much improved over where they have been.
And they need to be with the facilities and the resources they have. And I think they started 0-8 this year, partially due to a really difficult schedule. So I believe they're 7-4 in their last 11 matches. So trending up in the right direction at the right time. And speaking of golf too, one more note on golf. Chad Sewell on the Corn Ferry Tour, he's had 2 consecutive top 10s. I think he's top 20 on the points list for the Corn Ferry Tour. So good to see a Bearcat out there competing in the professional ranks and possibly making it to the PGA Tour next year.
Okay, you're gonna. I need you to educate us a little bit. The Corn Ferry Tour, is that like single A, or is that like NXT to WWE? How does that work?
That's like the AAA of golf. So I think it's the top 5 or 10 get their PGA cards for the next year. So he's in a good spot. 2 top 10s the last 2 tournaments.
See, I understand baseball and wrestling. There you go.
Yeah. It's kind of like soccer, European soccer. There's a relegation and a promotion system. So he's one step away from being on the big tour.
Man, you are speaking my language with this stuff. The women's track and field, they open their outdoor season. The men don't open for about another month or so, but the women, they open this weekend. They're headed to Waco. Baylor is hosting the Clyde Hart Classic Friday and Saturday, and it was a pretty good indoor season. I suspect we will see them continue to improve as we head to the outdoor season.
Yeah, that's the hope, and I feel like we're a better outdoor team than we are indoor the past few years.
Now, look, the one program that's just trying to get off its feet right now, that's beach volleyball. Right there, the first year they've actually got beach volleyball players that are not volleyball players. It's been tough. They're 1-14 this year. They lost all 4 matches last week at the Eagle Invitational in Fort Myers, Florida. They're headed back to Florida. You know what? I think I'd rather be in Huntsville. Florida this time of year, you would think it would be nice, but man, it is humid as all get out at that place.
If you could get a trip into the beach, it might be worth it. But
Maybe.
yeah, it's been a tough year, but I think you've seen some signs of progress. A team that's about 70-80% now beach players. Your top pair up until this last week had won 4 of their last 5 matches. So you're at least seeing that you have some quality players within the program. I think you give it one more year. Hopefully they're in a spot where they're competing at a much higher level next year.
They are headed to the USF tournament. University of South Florida begins Friday. They're playing USF and UTEP. So there's a Conference USA foe to see there. And then they finish on Saturday against the Lady Jacks of SFA and Sacramento State, the JV football team.
The SFA team that wasn't a team and now they're a team again.
Yeah, how does it? Yeah, dude. I mean, first off, how many of them are they trying to teach to spell Nacogdoches in their first year at school there?
Well, it's funny when they disbanded or when they took apart the program there very briefly. A couple of them transferred out and came to Sam Houston. I think we have 2 on the roster that transferred over from SFA.
It is personal Saturday.
Yeah, got to get a win.
Somehow, right? You gotta beat them. Like they cut the program and then they restart it. You transferred, I would be angry.
Oh yes, very.
Yeah, that's man. If you're enjoying the show, help us grow by rating us and reviewing on March to the Pod on your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget, subscribe to our Substack page at marchtothepod.substack.com. That's March, the number 2, the pod.substack.com, and find us on Twitter. We're still there. I haven't got us banned from Twitter yet. Yet, keyword. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube by searching at March to the Pod. That's at March, the number 2, the Pod. And we're also proud to be a part of the Conference USA Podcast Roundtable. They have shows covering all 12 CUSA programs, and it's been a busy time with all these tournaments going on and stuff. Conference USA has had a pretty good winter / start to the spring season, in my opinion.
Minus the football scheduling.
Dude, listen. Did we ever hit on that? Like, no, I don't think we did.
No, because
I don't think we had a show since all that jazz went down. Like, how in the world? Now you got me going. Look at you. How in the world do you see a report that the Sun Belt is releasing? They're releasing their schedule on Friday. And so you hustle, and on Thursday night at 7 p.m., you release your conference schedule with La Tech in it. And then Sunbelt releases theirs with La Tech on Friday. The Bulldogs have 20 games next year.
It's impressive if they can get it done. But, yeah, it's interesting, and you could tell it was thrown together. It was at 8:45 during the night of the quarterfinals of the basketball tournaments. And there were multiple spelling mistakes. And I think it was Jack State at Middle Tennessee or Jack State at Delaware. They were on the schedule twice one day. So that's interesting.
And the whole conference staff is at the tournament, right? They're all in Alabama at Huntsville. And golly, dude, can you imagine how much they were running around like, what? Holy, but and it shouldn't have been that way, honestly. Like, they've had this set. They had it set with La Tech in it. They have to. I sure hope they did. And then I hope they also had one without La Tech in it. That shouldn't have come as a surprise, and you could have already had the release though.
Yeah, it was a mess. I can only imagine because, that's one of the busiest weeks as it is, the conference basketball tournament.
Yeah, there's so much going on. And there, when you get to the conference basketball tournament, you've got other conference championships a lot of times around that same time frame. They could have been a little better prepared. They were caught off guard or with their pants down, as if you heard the Twins broadcast the other day, asking if they had seen Brian Buxton with his pants down.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was funny. We are talking the bat and ball sports, softball, baseball, when we come back after this message from Eternal Roofing.
Eternal Roofing only uses the finest materials in the roofing business while providing an exceptional warranty. Why do they use CertainTeed products? Because they complement any appearance, provide exceptional and reliable strength, and are known for their enduring performance. Here's what Shane Sosa had to say about Eternal Roofing. Taylor and his team are amongst the highest level of professionals. They care about their customers and go above and beyond just doing the job. Give Eternal Roofing a call today at area code 830-251-5673 or area code 936-215-8539 or email taylor@eternalroofingtx.com.
So the episode before we did the bracket review, the bracket challenge episode, that was a special Monday, we talked about the baseball program, some concerns about the offense. Then they get swept at home by Jack State. Things have turned around a little bit, Ben. They won 2 or 3 at FIU on the road last weekend, and last night they rallied and took down a solid Texas Arlington squad, 7-5. They are 12-12 overall, 2-4 in Conference USA, which isn't ideal, but it's not horrible considering who you've played. And the other thing about this is, as General Sam pointed out on our Twitter, they have now equaled the number of wins that they had last season, and they've only done it in 24 games, not 60 or whatever it took last year.
Yeah, definitely trending in the right direction, back to 500. Match your win total from last year of 12, have won 4 of the last 5. Really should be a 5-game winning streak. The one you lost, you gave up a grand slam, a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 9th, and that's a game you really let get away from you. But trending in the right direction since Ryan Frandon got back in the lineup. He was kind of the missing piece in the middle of it. And since he's been back, the team has looked a lot better. Have a big series against WKU coming up this weekend. So yeah, we'll see what they do, but you're trending in the right direction. I think I said a couple of weeks ago, this wasn't a team that was going to go from 12 to 40 wins, in 1 year, but if they can go from 12 to 28, that's the progress we need to see. And they're kind of on that trajectory, and they just got to continue to keep it up. The pitching, it's regressed a little bit. There was no way they were going to keep up what they were doing, but it continues to be pretty good. And the offense has just done enough to get the job done. Like I said, Ryan Frandon is back. Jarrett Curtis has been on a tear. His average has gone up about 100 points over the past 10 days. So definitely trending in the right direction, but you need to get a big series win against WKU this weekend.
You will probably hear this a lot. I am a big fan of Jarrett Curtis. Love the way that man plays. His speed is
a lot of fun.
Changing.
Did you see the janitor throw to get the guy at home at FAU he had last week?
No, I missed that.
Oh, it was great. He went, I think he went 5 for 5. It was the night we lost. He went 5 for 5 with a stolen base, a walk, an RBI, threw a guy out at home. Yeah, he had a heck of a series last weekend.
Oh, goodness. That guy, he is fun. And the offense has gotten going, and the pitching isn't bad. Like, yeah, they regressed a little because it's called the average, right? But not horrible. Right? They are a competitive team this year against same type of opponents, right? Like Conference USA, they're a competitive team this year in the conference. Should be most weekends.
Yeah, Jack State has kind of turned into a dark horse to maybe even host a regional this year. I said they were really good a couple of weeks ago. I think they're 18-3 now, and they're like 24th in the D1 baseball poll. So, I mean, they're really good. If you take out the series against Oklahoma State and Jack State, which obviously you can't just take them off your schedule, but if you take those two series sweeps out against two top 25 teams, you're 12-6.
Yeah.
So 12-6 against comparable opponents for the most part.
Yeah, they have not played bad. Who do they play this weekend?
WKU.
Right now, we don't know a lot about Western Kentucky.
But we know they're coming to Huntsville this
are.
weekend. They will be at the Don this weekend. And then Tuesday, Sam Houston travels to Bluebell Park to play Texas A&M. And just don't get to ball 3. Just don't do it, right? Hit them before you get to ball 3. Don't give them a chance to do their ball 4 stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Cory's advice.
That's right. If I'm the coach, 2 balls, you're hitting them, okay? That's how we're playing.
Yeah. Speaking of pitching, have you seen what Ryan Peterson has been doing?
Oh, that dude is a Friday night ace deluxe. And
gosh.
I have a feeling he's getting onto those MLB radars. And literally, because we saw, I think it was Sports Talk of Sam Houston, Sports Talk, that put out a picture of all the scouts with guns back there when he was pitching a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, when against FIU on Friday night, he went 7 innings, 1 run ball, had 8 Ks in his final pitch, the 8th strikeout. It was at 93 miles an hour. It was like 105th pitch, and he still had 93 in the tank. And I think he's sitting, like 93 to 96 right now. I mean, he has elite stuff. He's one of the best mid-major pitchers in all of college baseball right now.
It'd be great to see him get taken on like day 2. I mean, day 1 would be fantastic, but take him on day 2. Hey, another one, Walker Yannick. I knew that. I don't know why I said Walker Yannick. I saw this right before I came on. He's on the Hooks roster this year. He's starting at AA.
Yeah, and he had an OPS over 1,000. And I was listening to an Astros podcast. Their scouting director said he was kind of the prospect star of spring training. So I'm thinking next year it might be the year for him to be up on the major league roster. Still probably a year away, but he's shown a lot of growth and is starting there in AA.
Yeah, no, that is fantastic. Really happy to see Cats doing wonderful things out there as always. Goodness gracious. StreamYard updated, and it does some weird things when I'm trying to kind of scroll around here right now. Anyway, that's baseball. Softball team Not bad. Not bad at all. They won 2 of 3 against New Mexico State at home 2 weeks ago. Then they beat the Roadrunners 4-1.
Good team. Good UTSA team.
Yeah, that was a good win. And they took 2 of 3 at Kennesaw State. Listen, if you take 2 of 3, you're going to win 66% of your games throughout the conference.
Yeah. And that's what they've done each of the first 3 weeks.
How you like that math?
Yeah, it's good. Well, it's about as much math as we'll do on this show, I'm sure.
That's all I could get. Hey, look, I know 2 of 3 is 66%. You do that all the time, you're winning 66%.
And it's really impressive what they're doing because Abigail Young has been out since the first weekend of the year, and Amy Abke hasn't pitched since I think March 3rd or March 4th. She's also dealing with a foot injury. It's been in a boot. So your top 2 starters are down, and we talked about the pitching depth to start this year. And Kendall Daniel and Tiffany Sanchez have just kind of taken the reins and run with it. Neither of them pitched last night. I think it was a game you kind of conceded. You threw the freshmen in there, save Tiffany and Kendall for the weekend series because they've been throwing a lot. But yeah, I mean, what they're doing without their top 2 pitchers has been really impressive.
By last night, you throw the freshman at Texas A&M.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
Really good nationally ranked team. They took a loss 18-3. But hey, freshman, guess what? You get a start. Woohoo! At Texas A&M. Oh crap.
I mean, you're playing to set yourself up for the conference tournament. I get it. It's not fun. It's probably not great for their confidence, but it's all about your seeding in the conference tournament, making sure Sanchez and Kendall Daniel are fresh for the weekend series. So I don't hate it.
Oh, General Sam says Abigail was dressed out at A&M.
Yeah, she got the boot off about a week or 2 ago. It sounded like she just hadn't played yet.
Abke is still in the boot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will. Hopefully they get better soon, and we get them all back. Can you have a 4-person pitching staff heading into the conference tournament? And at that point, your Tuesday games that you're not throwing freshmen at A&M if you had all 4 of them back, right? Like that. Yeah. Those are games you get these in. The freshmen, you just take a learning experience, right? The Space Cowboys had one of those this week as well. You just got to take a learning experience sometimes.
Pick your battles.
Yeah. And then look for the one that you can win the next time. But the softball program, they're 21-15 overall, 6-3 in Conference USA play. And if my math is, that's 66%.
Yep, that is correct.
Jeez, man, I'm a whiz today. And the thing, when I looked at their schedule, they're 21-15, and they've played Baylor, Oklahoma twice, and Texas A&M. Those are just the Power 4 programs. They also played Texas State, who we know is a quality softball program, and UTSA as well. This team is not shabby.
And the hardest part of your schedule is behind you.
Yes.
I mean, it's a team that's probably likely going to take 2 out of 3 most weekend series from here on out. I mean, you might drop a series somewhere, and you might sweep one, but for the most part, I think they go 2 out of 3.
Look, that's all I'm looking for now. All I want. I want Fips.
You'll take them because, I mean, there's a couple teams right up there with you at the top of the conference, and it's all about seeding.
I would love to see this weekend when they host Middle Tennessee State. A lot of games at home, a lot of stuff at home this weekend. Get out there. Watch the baseball, watch the softball. They're beginning their series on Friday, and it's the week before the Easter weekend, which we know they play their games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because you know, to avoid the Jesus Day or whatever.
Not playing on Sunday.
No, that's the Jesus Day I was talking about.
Yep.
I didn't know I had to clarify Jesus Day. And I can't even have Space Cowboys practice on that day. Like, it truly is just Jesus Day.
You're not going to run the Space Cowboys on a Sunday, or you typically are running them on a Sunday.
We normally practice 2 to 4 on Sunday, right in the heat of the day, right? And you know what? That kind of helped. Our first game was when it was 100 degrees up here. Our first game was at 3:45, so that was
good. Builds character.
A lot of for 3rd and 4th graders, they needed the character.
Yep.
No doubt about it, right?
Yep.
All right. We are going to come back and hear from Ben with a update on the Cat Fund, what's been going on the last couple of weeks. And then we're getting into the basketball. We got post-mortem grades on the head coaches. How will they grade? Right after we hear this word from our friends at Eternal Roofing.
Eternal Roofing is locally owned and dedicated to giving back to the community by supporting local organizations and charities. They are also the winner of Next Door's Neighborhood Faves for 2 consecutive years. And as you know, if you've listened to this podcast, Eternal Roofing is your choice for Christmas lights. They provide premium lights tailored to fit your home, season-long maintenance, and hassle-free removal. Kyle Tatum said, "They're very professional and great quality, on time and clean, and really made me feel like they cared for me and my home." Give Eternal Roofing a call today at area code 830-251-5673 or area code 936-215-8539, or you can email Taylor at eternalroofingtx.com.
Before we get into our grades, and also, I did not forget, we're going to look at the results of the bracket challenge from the Conference USA tournament. Let's check in with Ben on the Cat Fund. What's been going on, man?
Yeah, not too much going on right now. There will be an update sent to everybody kind of on the future of what Cat Fund is. We'll still definitely be here, but it's going to look a little bit different. Kind of tying into the announcement yesterday with the Link U stuff and the revenue share payments that the university is going to be sending through Link U. So all the members will have some updates through email over the next, 7 to 10 days. So be on the lookout for that. Definitely still going to be around, but things will look a little different, and we'll have some more info on it when it comes up.
Sounds good. Yeah, I saw all that in this day and age. I mean, that's what we're dealing with now, right? And you did a basketball bracket for the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
You join, like I have one that I do, like just invite people, and we get 8-10 people in there. And this year, I noticed myself going pretty chalky on the men's side, and you normally don't do that, but that's how this tournament went. And last year kind of went that way, but this year kept going chalky. I can't help but think that this NIL, especially in basketball, is just continuing to separate the top from the mid majors.
Yeah, I mean, portal's not even open, and it feels like every 5 minutes you're seeing a mid-major player announce they're entering the portal. You don't see the big schools really losing anybody right now. So the cream just kind of continues to rise to the top. But you got to compete with what you have, try to compete within your league, and then go see what you can do within the NCAA tournament. But yeah, it's the talent is definitely elevated more towards the top. And when a guy has a good season, he doesn't stick around for 2 or 3 more. He's typically transferring out and moving somewhere else.
I went so chalky that I still have all my Final Four teams and like 12 of the 16, maybe even 13 of them left.
Yeah, I think I've got 3 out of the Final 4 and 13 to 16 for the Sweet 16.
And the women's side is always chalky.
Yeah.
It just is. That there's nothing new about that. And so I got 14 of 16. Darn, Iowa didn't pull that out like they should have.
I saw UConn was like a 79-point favorite against someone in the first round matchup.
So you're talking second round. You've got UConn and Texas and some of those teams, and they're 30 and 40 point favorites on these teams. That's insanity.
It's crazy.
And it's always been that way.
Yeah.
That's not new.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of women's basketball, we had a bracket challenge happen. And, well, if you pick the winner of the tournament, you have a good chance of being at the top. And that's what TJ's did. They had Missouri State, who was the winner. And look, TJ's got 9 points, won easily. Boog was second with 7. Texas Terror had La Tech, even though they're a Sam Houston person. There you go. They finished third with 6. Let's see. That Cory Hogue fella, he was 4th, and so was that Ben Sorrells fella. And we both picked La Tech as well. Most of us picked La Tech in this bracket.
Yeah, we don't know ball, apparently. Shout out to Missouri State, though. I mean, that was a really impressive run that they put together.
Yes, it was. And did they win the first round, or did they lose that one?
They played in the first 4, and they beat SFA.
That's what it was. That's more money.
Yep.
That counts.
And a loss for SFA.
That's right. Who doesn't love to see that, right, Rev?
Yep.
All right. So we want, hey, big thank you to everyone over at betterbracket.com for that and everyone who played. Thank you so much for that. That was fun. We'll see the men's results here after we get done with our postmortem for the women's basketball program. But really happy with that. I think that will definitely be back next year. As far as the women, when they got to the Conference USA tournament, it did not go very well in the quarterfinals. Liberty was on fire. The Flames were a-flamin'.
Yeah, I think they were 7 of 12 from 3 in the first half. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. They won by 32. They won 89-57. And when you're Sam Houston, you've got to keep the game in the 60s and force a lot of turnovers. And Liberty, and I think even their best 3-point shooter was on the bench with foul trouble most of that game, if I remember correctly. And they still were nailing every one of them.
Yeah, their Liberty's leading scorer, I think her name was Avery Mills, got 3 fouls within like 8 minutes or something. Didn't play at all really in the first half, and they still just put it on them. It was rough. And you just can't. That team was not built to keep up scoring wise when teams shoot like that against you.
Not at all. Some nights there's just nothing you can do.
Tip your cap. Yep.
But the season wasn't over. They got an invite to the women's NIT. They went up to Portland and they gave them a game. Gave them quite a game. Portland ended up taking it 62-59 in the first round. But I think we started our postmortem looking at the overall record of 18-13, and you put that in comparison with where this basketball program has been the last few years, how big a season this was for Raven Justice. This was like a put up or shut up season for Raven Justice on a lot of levels, and this team put up this year, Ben.
Yeah, placed 3rd at the end of the day in Conference USA. You took the step forward that you really wanted to see with a group that you had kept together for a couple of years. Maybe would have wished the ceiling would have been a little bit higher, but you saw the progression that you had to see, a team that was in the upper third of the league. And so it was good progress, and have a lot of work to do this offseason, losing so many players, but it's a step in the right direction, and you did what you had to do, which was a good sign.
It bought some time, but you can't fall from 18-13 back to 8-9 wins next year.
No. And like I said, you got a lot of work to do. You pretty much lose your entire starting 5, which had been around for 2 to 3 years, that core that you had stick together. So it's going to be a very big offseason for them.
Okay. So what grade are you going to give Raven Justice this year?
I'm going to go a B. Obviously, it was a good season. I do wish you could figure out a little more offensively, kind of mold that into your style of incredible defense, and would have wished you would have gotten 1 in the tournament, but you saw the progress that you wanted to see. Just wish there was a little bit more, but it was a good season, so I'm going to give it a B.
See, I can't believe this. I'm higher than you on this one. I'm going to go B+.
I thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think what she did was outstanding, and she kept the faith in those players, and those players kept the faith in her too. And that says a lot. Says a lot about the program, how she's built. It says a lot about the culture of the program. 18-13 was far beyond what I expected. 3rd in Conference USA, far beyond what I expected. And to make the women's NIT, has the program even made it there before?
Yeah, they made it in, I think it was 2013, and they won a game too that year. I think it was 2013, sometime in the early 2010s. And man, you had a 3 go halfway down and out that would have won it for you there towards in the final second. So it was a crushing loss at Portland. They really had a shot to win that one.
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic season, and so congrats to Coach Justice and the Bearkats, the Lady Bearkats, whatever you call them. I just say congratulations. Now, the men's side. This is going to be interesting. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. But before we get into the Bearkats team, we're going to look at this bracket challenge results. And we had a lot more participants on the men's side. And the Owls, surprisingly, picked Kennesaw State to win the whole thing. And I'll be darned, they did. And that championship win was the difference in the whole challenge. So they won with 7 points. Boog had Sam Houston, had 6. That's pretty good. Cole's picks had Missouri State, finished tied for 2nd. Tied for 4th, a whole lot of people, including Ben Sorrells, had 5 points. Let's see. Gabe, my son, had 3 points, finished it. Where is Cory at? Oh, I'm down there too. 3 points. Woohoo! Look at that. The best part, though, I wasn't last this year, so that's about all I can really offer.
There you go. Moving in the right direction. A lot of people in there.
It is a lot of people. And really, let's be honest, every year with every bracket challenge, my goal is just not to be last.
You did it.
I did it. And I think I'm going to do it with the men's and women's this year, too, because right now I'm in 1st in the women's and 2nd in the men's. So,
long way to go. Long way to go.
Yeah, I know there's still four days, 2 weekends left of all this.
Yeah.
Way too long left to go. But back to our postmortem on the Bearkats. They won a game in the conference tournament. They got to the semifinals, and listen, they lost Po' Boy King with his back flared up again right before that. He was out.
I think it really came from there was a layup that he hit with about 3 or 4 minutes left against New Mexico State. And I don't know how it wasn't a foul, but he got hit into like the stanchion of the goal, and he just couldn't go the rest of that game, and then couldn't go the next or 2 days later against Kennesaw.
They put up a battle though. They were down to 7 players.
3 of them true freshmen, 7 players total. I mean, and they led for most of that game too.
They did. I thought they were going to pull that out. It just didn't happen. But hey, credit to Kennesaw State. They not only won that game, they took the championship game as well. They made and then they made a little run in the tournament there a little bit, right? Like they played really well, and I do like their coach. I like how their coach is.
He was in the mix at USF, but Chris Mack got that job. Some people at Kennesaw were worried about that, and he's a great coach. I mean, they are as long and athletic as it comes in this league and in mid-major basketball, and there's a reason they were picked 2nd in the preseason poll, and really good team. Really, really good team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, really good, and they'll be back next year if he's still there coaching them. But as for the Bearkats, season wasn't over after the Conference USA tournament. They also received an at-large bid to the NIT, and they went to New Mexico. They took a loss. Listen, you took 7 players into New Mexico, right? At some point, it catches up to you, and it caught up to them in the first round of the NIT, but you cannot pin that on anyone within that program. You can't do anything about the injuries. At the end of the day, this team finished 22-12 and 2nd in Conference USA in the regular season. And if they'd have won the semifinals, they might have won that championship game too. You couldn't count this team out this year.
Never quit. Yeah. And I mean, they just really never, it was incredible what they did. 8 guys or less for at least half a conference play. The majority of that run where I think you won 11 of 12 was with 8 guys. And it was just so impressive what they did. It felt like they were just one body away from getting the job done this year.
They were down a multitude of players from the beginning of the season. And then they just kept leaving, getting injured throughout the season. And you end up with the freshman of the year and you end up doing all those things. It was a very good season. But what grade are you going to give Chris Mudge?
I'm going to go an A. 2nd place in the league. You won a tournament game. I think, like I said, you were one body away from winning the tournament. I think he did as much as he could with what he was dealt. I don't think he really could have done much more. And so I'm going to give it an A. Not an A+. An A+ would have been winning the league, but I'm going to give it an A.
Yeah, look, you got to make the NCAA tournament to get an A+. That's just how it is. But I'm with you. I have an A as well. It is mentally draining as much as anything else on a team to see players, the attrition, the players get injured, these guys that you were counting on or expecting to contribute. And it's a mental battle for not just the players, but also for the coaching staff, and also for the head coach. Right. And they never let that affect him. Not at all. That is what impresses me about Coach Mudge. He didn't lose the team. He kept that team, and they got better. Like he was like, hey, the world's against us. Guess what? Buy in. Let's go.
Yeah. Started 1-3 in conference play, continued to lose guys, and just continued to get better really up until that semifinal game in the last week of the season when you were down to 7 players.
So Chris Mudge gets an A from both of us. Raven Justice gets a B from Ben and a B+ from me. That sounds like a pretty good year of basketball for the Cats.
It was a great year to build off of. Hopefully the women can keep it going. Obviously they've got, as of now, probably a little bit more of a retool to do. The men can return the majority of their team. Obviously there is the portal, and we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it was definitely a step in the right direction for both programs after a tough season the year before.
Not just the portal, the coaching portal as well. Gotta keep Mudge.
Yeah, I think we're okay, but with the way the dominoes continue to move, you never know what things look like.
Because there could be, I still think there could be some movement here after the NCAA. Shoot, North Carolina got rid of Hubert.
Yeah, there, and you don't know who fills there, and Kansas.
The dominoes, man.
Kansas, you never know, might come open. NC State's about to come open, it looks like, and then who fills NC State, and then who fills the job that the NC State guy comes from. So there's just so many dominoes.
So I know we're at the end of the show, so we're just going to riff for a minute here about some of this that you just mentioned. I am currently reading a book. I know that's surprising to a lot of you out there that I can read, but it's a book called Hot Dog Money. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, it is on Kindle Unlimited right now. It's called Hot Dog Money. It is the story, the inside story of all that investigation about the scandal and the fraud and the bribery and all that stuff that went down with college basketball right around 2020 that involved the coach of LSU at the time, right? Guess who he might be coach of again?
LSU. It is the craziest 360, 180 moment of all time.
Why would you bring him back?
He'll win.
None of these coaches, of the head coaches at least, that were a part of this actually went down. And if you're one who likes to read books, Hot Dog Money is pretty good. Like, this is the account of the FBI informant who he did whatever he had to do to keep his own butt out of jail is what he did.
Yeah.
But to get in and to read and to understand kind of, and none of it's a surprise to me. I mean, I know this is how it works and goes on, but to see it just talked about and how all this conspired and how he ended up being the FBI informant because he really wasn't into college football. His thing was with professional football mostly, but he was trying to find them in college. And then how they started paying players, not just players, they're paying the players' families. You get coaches involved, assistant coaches, and we're talking big names. We're talking guys that are playing in the NBA and stuff right now.
Oh yeah.
Like that book is very telling. It's been very interesting. I'm just a little over halfway through now, and I am enjoying reading it. That's the one after the greatest gambling story ever told about the 1988 Kentucky Derby.
Interesting. I don't know if I know that one.
Winning Colors won, but the book is just got me. And I love things like that. Like, I love those books that are like the Hot Dog Money and the gambling, the Kentucky Derby one. But the greatest gambling story ever told is it includes the cartels in Mexico, the casino, and some guy, 3 people who placed a bet. And once they figured out the cartels had already offed the guy who was ratting them out in the paper, how they're going to get their money and how they went about doing all that stuff.
Horse racing is no joke.
No. We're talking 1988, man. So
under the table and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a really good one as well. But that Will Wade thing, going back to LSU, And they're about to. They hired Heath Troyer. Is that right? Or they're about to?
Yeah, they're in the process of doing it.
What are they doing?
Yeah, the commissioner of the Southland, right?
I'm not going there. I like Chris Grant. But what is LSU really? They're that desperate to try to win in men's basketball?
I guess so.
And if it's that way with men, the baseball program, they might want to figure that out first.
Yeah, a little bit of a down year.
Yeah, and you hired Johnson from Arizona.
Well, you've got Lane Kiffin and Will Wade. That's a interesting group of head coaches right there.
Yeah, they don't care about the rules anymore.
No.
they just said, we don't care. Give us that. You know what? It's funny too, because speaking of LSU, Paul Maneri
just got let go at South Carolina.
Yeah, he resigned at South Carolina, and boy, was he bad there.
Oh, very bad. Shockingly bad.
Yes. Yeah, man. And then let's see. Oh, yeah. No, hey, look, you've got Lane Kiffin. You're about to get Will Wade, and you've got Kim Mulkey. Woo!
Oh, yeah, that too. What a character.
Staff meetings? How are they going to fit those egos inside the same room?
They're not. Somebody's going to bounce.
That's why she's not at Baylor anymore, man. Like, they just couldn't put up with it anymore.
Yeah.
Goodness, man. Fun times. Good times with the basketball tournament coming up this weekend. And a lot of cat stuff going on. The baseball, the softball teams are at home. Get out there and support them. It's the weekend before you celebrate the Jesus.
It is.
That's what I call it, the Jesus.
Put your own little spin on it.
That's right. Why not? Maybe StreamYard will have some Easter stuff for us next week to put out. Like, here's a Boxing Day.
Oh, yeah.
Boxing? Yeah.
It's like the day after Christmas in Canada.
In the UK.
Oh, yeah, UK. That's right.
And the thing, what I know about Boxing Day isn't, I just know it means a lot of soccer.
Yeah.
I'm that sports-minded.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're still listening, thank you, and don't know why. Hope you enjoyed the show. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be back. We're probably about to hit pretty regular airings now, I believe. I think stuff is starting to settle down for us.
Hopefully. It has been a crazy year, to say the least.
Hopefully things are slowing down for us.
Yeah.
2026 has been wilding out there.
Yes.
That's a wrap for March to the Pod, presented by Eternal Roofing. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back soon, next week, God willing, Jesus willing, with more Bearkats athletics coverage and a preview of what happens on Easter. Till then, Ben, take us home.
Yeah, eat 'em up, Cats. Get out to Huntsville, support baseball and softball, and let's get 2 series wins.
Don't kill the Jesus.